Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my name is Fatima Jabarte. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I would just like to give fun facts about myself. My name is Fatima Jabarte, as I said before. I'm a 16-year-old YouTuber, kind of spontaneously started my channel just for fun, good vibes, good stuff. So if you like what you see, continue watching and subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and join the family. Support a black girl, a young black girl. Period. Okay, so if you read the title of this video, you already know that this is about parenting. Yay! I would like to place a disclaimer before we begin because parenting is a very touchy subject for a lot of people. And before I start, I would like to say I have an immense amount of respect for parents. It is not an easy job. I have never raised a kid before, but all the parents, y'all doing y'all thing, y'all really just trying to do the best with what you have, and I really respect it. So shout out to all the parents, you know who you are. But I would just like to say I'm 16 years old. I could be biased in my video and my reasoning, but I would just like for this video to open up and like give us a space for healthy discourse and between parents and children, for everybody to get their thoughts across. And I would just like to give a voice to the voiceless, the children being the voiceless, because we got some things to say. It's some important things that needs to be said, okay? And I would just like, if you're a parent watching this, I would like for you to come in with an open mind. Don't look at it as a little girl trying to tell you what to do or how to raise your kids, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to give another opinion, and I just want for you to take something positive away from this video. Even if it's just one thing, I would be so happy. So if you have any thoughts, comment them down below. And yeah, that's my disclaimer. Inshallah, this video is helpful and we all gain something. I have a list of my thoughts and like topics I would like to address in this video in my handy dandy notebook. So if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes. Number 1, talk to your children. I feel like as a parent, you should talk openly to your children and you should allow them to talk to you. I feel like it's important to have conversations, to understand them, to know where their mind is at, because it's a lot of people who don't really know their kids, and that's very scary. So I feel like just having a conversation, that will kind of erase some of that, because you're allowing them to speak like their likes, their dislikes, who they are as a person, their values, how they process things. Like, that's what you get from talking to them. And talking to kids is super fun. Like, they are so funny, they're so smart, they're just great human beings all around. And just talk to them, get to know them. I would also say talk openly and honestly to your kids, because once you lie to your kids and down the road they figure out that you was lying, that betrayal, that heartbreak, is something that you don't want your kids to go through. So I would just say be honest with them. They're not stupid, they can figure things out, and they deserve the truth. I would also say talk to your kids about their body. This is a really, really big one, because a lot of people don't talk to their kids about their bodies. Like, I feel like that's super important for them to know their body, to understand their body, and know their anatomy. Like, because kids only know what you teach them, so inform them about that. Like, if it's a girl child, tell them that they have a vagina. If it's a male child, tell them that they have a penis. There's nothing wrong with saying those words. Those are medical terms, so don't come for me. All right, and I think it's important we use those terms, because saying all those pet names and nicknames is very off-putting to me, because you're confusing your child. I would be confused because it's just too much. Like, tell them what it is. It's fine. And even people at their big age, if you say vagina, have a visceral reaction to a medical term. It's not okay. It's not right. I feel like we should just inform our kids correctly. I'm saying our kids. I don't have a kid. But inform the children correctly, okay? I would also say talk to your kids about sex. I know it's a very awkward subject, but you have to do it. You as a parent have to do it, because you're their parent. You're their first teacher. Like, you have to talk to them about puberty, about all of that good stuff, their body changing. You have to be the one to do it. It might be awkward, it might be uncomfortable, but they need to hear from a credible source, somebody who has their best interest at heart, and somebody who knows what they're talking about. Because if you leave it up to the internet and their friends, I promise you're gonna regret that. Like, do you hear what these kids be saying? They literally don't know anything, and it's like the blind leading the blind. Like, please inform your kids for the betterment of society. Everybody gains from this. Please inform your kids. Number 2, don't compare your kids to others. Every child is different. Every person is different. Do not compare your child to other people or their siblings. Like, that is not helpful to anybody, and I feel like it does more damage, because you comparing your child, inherently you're telling them that there's something wrong with them. The fact that I don't act like Sally, the fact that I don't act like Susie May, there's something wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with your child. Everybody is different. Everybody has different personality traits, and that's what makes you, you. So you comparing them, that's a no-go. You're going to have to change up your parenting style. If you know one child acts like this, they have a parenting style. Another child act like this, they need a different parenting style. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all different. The world would be so boring if everybody acted the same. So please don't drive that into your kids, that there's something wrong with them because they don't act like somebody else. Like, and sometimes you just need your kids to grow out of a certain phase for them to act like how you want them to act, or to act in a different way, because they're literally just kids. Like, relax. Another thing, also understand that your child is not an extension of you. Yes, that is your DNA, that's your baby, that's your kin, but that is not you. They have their own thoughts, they have their own mind, they're going to grow up with their own values, their own interests. So you're going to have to respect that. You can't want your kids to want what you want. You can't want your kids to be who you are, because it's never going to happen. They're their own person, and the sooner you establish that they are an individual outside of you, the better. Number 2, support your kids. If your kid has a talent, an interest, support them, cultivate it, nurture it. I feel like it's so important, because you never know where that will take them or what that could do for them in their life. And if it's important to your kid, you should support that. Open your kids up to new interests. Like, open them up to the world of possibilities. Tell them they can do anything and actually believe it, and give them the tools to allow them to. Like, whether it be financial, moral, support them. Give them the juice. Give them the confidence that they can achieve anything, because they can. Who's stopping them? Who's stopping them? Give them all of that they need to succeed. That's super important. And also, be their biggest fan. They should never doubt for a minute, a second, that you're their biggest fan. Like, really pick up your kids, yeah. Like, big them up, yeah. Like, blow their head up, get them all of it. I feel like that's so beautiful. Like, when I see parents, like, they support their kid. Their kid could just ring a doorbell. They're supporting them to the moon and back. Like, biggest support out loud, just like loving your kid out loud and really giving them that, because that builds so much confidence. Like, and it's so important for you to also, like, protect your kids' confidence, because confidence can be shattered so easily, especially in the world that we live in. So give them that. Like, I remember watching this interview with Venus Williams when she was younger, and this interview was basically trying to break her confidence or make her doubt herself, when she was talking about how confident she was. And her dad stepped in and was like, you're talking to a little girl. You're not finna break her confidence. You're not finna even make her doubt herself. And the way that she just felt so secure in her father, protecting her confidence, protecting how she feels about herself, that's so beautiful. And there's a lot of insecure people walking around here, and it's because their parents did not pour into them. Their parents did not advocate for them. They didn't believe in them. And once you do that for your kid, I feel like sky's the limit, okay? Even no sky, we're going up, okay? Number 4, respect your kids. Respect them as a human being, because that's what they are, a human being. And it's really important that you respect them. I feel like all relationships, the basis of it should be respect. And if you don't respect your kids and they feel that you don't respect them, they're not going to respect you either. I'm so sorry. Respect is not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. For you to get respect, you have to give it, and vice versa. So I would say respect them and respect their privacy. This is a little controversial now, but you have to give your kids privacy. I'm not saying let them go willy-nilly and don't check in with them, but you have to give them privacy. Like, you can't violate their privacy, because the trust between parent and child is broken if you do that. Like, nobody wants to know that their parents don't trust them. You have to trust your kids. You have to let them go and trust that you raised a good human being, and just leave it at that. Like, and give them their privacy. Like, I feel like that's uber important, because if you violate their privacy, nobody wants that. Just as a person, think about it. Nobody wants to be violated. Nobody wants to not feel like they can have something to themselves, something private to themselves. So that's a really big one. And I feel like that's what a lot of parent and child issues come from. You don't respect your kids. Respect their boundaries. This is a really big one, because like, you have to respect their boundaries. Don't make them do things that they're not comfortable with. It was Thanksgiving recently, Thanksgiving dinner, and after the dinner, everybody was going home and whatnot, and it was this 3-year-old boy, little boy, such a great kid, and they asked him to give somebody a hug. Mind you, they were guests. He just met them that day. He didn't feel comfortable giving that person a hug, so he was like, no, I'm not gonna give you a hug. I'm gonna shake your hand, but hug, that's too much. I don't know you. I don't feel comfortable. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, that's my boy. That's what you're supposed to do. Protect your boundaries. Protect yourself. Respect yourself first. Like, his mom told him to give him a hug. His dad told him to give that person a hug. But he was like, no. Like, I don't feel comfortable, so I'm not going to do that. And that's very valuable. Look at kids teaching us valuable life lessons, okay? And that was just so important, because you can't break your kids' boundaries like that. If they're not comfortable with something, do not force it, because it's not going to be good. Number 5, give your child a voice. This is really important to me specifically, because as you can see, I love to talk. But give your child a voice. Allow them to speak freely in your presence, speak openly, and really just tell about themselves and just have a conversation. Like, you shouldn't confine your kids. You should make them feel comfortable to speak to you. It should be a safe space. Allow your kids to have autonomy. I love that word so much, autonomy. I think I'm going to put it up on the screen. I love it so much. It's really important that you give your kids that. It is like a must, because they're an individual. They're going to be their own person one day. So you have to allow them to make choices. You have to give them options to make choices. You have to allow them to become decisive and to be their own person. Once you do that, you're raising a thinker. You're raising a thinker. You're raising somebody who thinks for themselves. You do not want to raise a kid that goes with the pack, who don't have a brain for themselves, that just acts real nutty for real, because that's how a lot of people act. They don't think for themselves. They just run in the pack. You want to raise a leader, somebody with their own mentality, somebody who is comfortable with themselves, who respects their own self and their own opinion and can stand on that, period. Be collaborative. You as a parent do not know everything. Newsflash, you don't know everything. That's okay, and that's fine. But you have to be collaborative. You have to open it up to your kids as well. Don't shut your kids down and be like, I'm the parent, you're the child, sit down, shut up, do as I say. You have to allow your kids, it should be a little bit of a collaborative effort. Because once you do that, your kid feels valued. They feel respected. They feel like their opinion matters in the household. And that's super duper important. Because once you establish that you value them, that their opinion matters, that they are a person of value in the household, they could go outside of the household and feel the same way and also reflect that. Like, they will speak freely, they will speak their mind solidly, unapologetically, because that's how they feel in their household. Number 6, affirm your kids. This is super important. Like I said, this kind of goes along with support your kids, but it's kind of different. You have to tell them you was smart, you was kind, you was important. If you know, you know. But you have to affirm them. You have to tell them that they're beautiful, that they're smart, that they're great, that they're amazing, that they're all that in a bag of potato chips. You know what I mean? You have to give them that, because the world will literally snatch it away. Like, nobody cares about you. Well, some people do. But in the real world, nobody cares about you. You're nothing to nobody. So they have to have their own sense of themselves and their own sense of confidence. And you as a parent, that is your job to instill that in your kids. So affirm them. Give them that sense of pride. And especially for, like, I would say minority children, or like black children, or if your child is different in some way, they need that. The world is literally bringing them down, telling them that they're not beautiful, that they're not smart, that they're not worthy, that they're not capable. And you have to scratch all that and rewrite the narrative, because they are all of those things. Implement that into them. Like, get that into them. Treat them like they're beautiful. Talk to them like they're beautiful. People rarely remember what you say, but they will always remember how you make them feel. So if you make your kid feel unliked, unworthy, they're always going to remember that, and they're going to associate you with that, and that's just a horrible thing. That's horrible. So I would say make them feel good. Don't degrade them. Don't belittle them. Don't, like, squash them or make them feel small or, like, devalue them. You have to bring them up and make them feel that way. I feel like that's how beautiful parent relationships happen. So treat them like they're a human being. Don't go crazy on your kids. Understand that they're human. Chill on them. Relax. They make mistakes just like everybody else does. They have shortcomings just like everybody else does. And you have to forgive them and you have to move past that. Be kind. We need more of that. Kindness. And give your kids grace. Give them grace, okay? Number 7, create a healthy environment for your child. As a parent, it is your responsibility to create a happy, healthy, wholesome environment for your child. Environment is everything. It's where they grow up. It's where they learn everything from. They're soaking up everything from their environment. And if it's a toxic environment, if it's an unhappy environment, they will pick up on that. You have to have an environment that is fit for a child. They have to be happy. They have to be comfortable. They have to be safe. You don't want them to feel angst or confusion or just basically just being uncomfortable, because all of what they're feeling, all of what they're seeing, if it's a toxic environment, it's going out to the world when they go outside. And they're going to bring that to others, and that's not okay. They should be having a happy environment where they're able to develop, where they're able to feel loved and happy and all of that good stuff. It's so many people that are saying, oh, I can't wait to get out of my parents' house. I can't wait to go to college. I can't wait to just get away from this because I can't handle it. I'm not happy here. And that's really sad. Like, you should be happy in your house. You should be happy around your parents. You should feel at ease with these people. These are like your loved ones, your sanctuary. It's supposed to feel good. You're supposed to feel at peace. So please do your best and really be intentional with the environment, because that's your responsibility. That's like the main. Like, you really have to be intentional about the environment you are creating for your child, because that is something that they will never ever forget. No matter how old they are, they're always going to remember that. And please do me a favor, don't traumatize your kids. Don't traumatize them. Please, I beg. Number 8, create happy memories with your child. This is one that I really love because it's just like so light, fun, and just happy. Like, create a great memory with them, like whether it be watching a movie, taking a trip, a road trip, an experience, or anything. Just create a memory with them. And I would also say, take something that they're really interested in and apply it to an activity or something like that, because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, you listened to what I said. They're always going to remember that, and they're going to reflect and be like, oh my gosh, like, I did this with my mom, I went here, we did this, or with my dad, or even as a family, we just had a good time, a fun time, a happy time. We laugh, we play, we joke, all of that good stuff. I feel like that is just so important for a family, and it's just so beautiful for people to have that, like, those beautiful memories. So create happy memories with your kid and thank me later. Like, number 9, be a good example. As a parent, you are your child's first teacher, and it is imperative that you be a good example for them. You ever heard the saying, do as I say and not as I do? Throw it out of the way now, immediately in the trash can, yeah. That does not work. It's never going to work. Kids are sponges. What they see, they pick up. What they hear, they pick up. So you saying do as I do and not do as I say and not as I do, it's not gonna work. You have to teach them how to be a good person. You have to teach them how to act accordingly. So when they're out with you in the real world and they see you being a kind person, they see you being gracious, they see you being polite to other people, that is what's going to teach them how to be polite. That's what's going to teach them how to be a good person. But if you're being rude, if you're being disrespectful, if you're just inconsiderate of other people and your child sees that because that's how you act and you're around them, don't expect your child to be a good person. Do not expect your child to be an anomaly to how you act, because it's not going to be that. Don't be shocked when your child comes out exactly like you, because y'all are the same. Y'all twinning at this point. Be a good example for them. As a parent, look at yourself and really analyze yourself and say, am I the type of person that I would want my child to look up to? Am I the type of person that I would want my child to imitate, to act like? And if the answer is no, you have some work to do. And if the answer is yes, make it your duty, make it your responsibility to continuously being a good person and being a great example for your child. Take care of yourself. This is for all my parents out there. You have to take care of yourself. I feel like it is very easy to lose sight of yourself while you're raising kids, or even raising, especially multiple kids, it's very easy to lose sight of who you are, your likes, all of that. You have to keep that. You have to keep your individuality, and you have to have a life outside of your kids. Once you do that, when you have something that you're passionate about, that you love, your kids feel that. Your kids feel, my mom feels great, my dad feels great. They are on a high, they're excited, they're happy, and that spreads to your children. So I feel like it's very important to pour into yourself, to build yourself up, and also take time for yourself. Parenting is a very stressful job, and it's not easy to raise a whole human being. Like, let's give yourself some grace, give yourself some time, and just pour into yourself. Like, love yourself. And it could be anything, whether it's just taking a bath, reading a book, watching a show, anything. But you have to give yourself that time away from your kids, away from your household and your responsibilities, but just give yourself some me time. I feel like that is so great, and really a must for every parent, because you need that. You need that. And yeah, shout out to all the parents. Like I said before, I see you, I value you. Yeah. Hey, this is the end of the video. I really hope that you could take something away from this. I hope that you enjoyed my conversation. And if you have anything, any thoughts about what I said, anything that I missed, or something that could have been added to the video, or any opinions, comment them down below. Also comment some video ideas down below, like what do you want to see from me. So just thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Only if you want to, though. I'm not about the peer pressure. Everybody should do things on their free will, I believe. So yeah, thanks for being here. Bye.